We came in because we heard of their coming of age program. And we came for that, and we stayed for ourselves because it was an amazing place that sort of spoke to us in terms of how we see the world.
I think it was Spring Festival. We drove by, and there were, flowers and balloons, and people were dressed up, and all these people were pouring out of the front, and we kind of realized, oh, maybe it is an atheist church.
As I came, I saw a lot of people who I recognized from the LGBTQ community. So I think that seeing people here was like, oh, okay, there are other people like me and, who have families.
You shouldn't have to have God to know what the right thing to do is, and there should be some way of having a community of folks that believed in morals, but didn't couch that in terms of this is what God says you have to do.
We were looking for a community to raise our child in. My son was about 4 years old. I felt like I wanted a place that reflected our values outside of sort of the bubble of our friends and family. In my upbringing, that was our church, although it didn't quite reflect our family's values, and it certainly didn't reflect my values now.
The Washington Ethical Society, or we call it WES, is a humanist congregation right in Washington, D.C., and we affirm the worth of every person. I would say that's really at the core of who we are. We are, in a sort of practical way, like any congregation you might imagine. We have a Sunday school, we have a teen group, we have adult ed classes, we've got social justice work that we do, we have small groups, we meet on Sundays, but it's from a humanist point of view.
All of them have to do with helping people, helping our youth, understand the world they're in, realizing that they have a voice and they can make a difference, and I guess we can call that ethics. But we want them to be able to explore for themselves and question the world around them and to not just accept what they're told.
One of ethical culture's core principles is the idea of deed before creed. In other words, how we believe is not as important as how we act. And that's borne out at WES. We have people that believe all kinds of different things, come from lots of backgrounds, but share the same values and want to act together. Platform service is just our gathering time. It is our meeting with each other. We meet for about an hour and 15 minutes, and in a lot of ways it looks not so different in form from a Protestant service. We have opening words, we sing together. The speaker, who's often me, talks for about 25 minutes. We have some more music, we take a collection. There are a couple of things that, of course, make it different. First of all, we don't have a central text, so I might use many different books or poems or headlines as kind of the heart of what I'm talking about.
I think, really.
And we also have a variety of speakers. So I usually speak 2 or 3 times a month, and then we'll have guest speakers or members of the congregation who come and speak.
Maybe my mother just did that, I don't know. But I remember there being cake.
Sometimes I'll approach either people that I know who are clergy in other congregations or who work in a nonprofit and ask them to come and speak on a particular topic because I really want their voice. One of the commitments that I've made personally is because I'm a white person and can only speak from that particular experience, and because I'm a woman and speak from that experience, I've made a commitment to both have male speakers regularly and I try to have a person of color as a platform speaker once a month.
At the end, when they were singing, this land is your land, we were all going nuts. Yeah, but we're still good. We still got it.
There's a portion of our platform service which is called community sharing, and that's a time when the mic goes around and people can respond from their own hearts about what resonated for them, what felt really connected to their own lives, or even add a different idea in a different layer. So sometimes I think of it as a kind of democratization of the service experience.
We invite you to join our community of children and adults.
I can't imagine a life without going to WES every Sunday. It's really a good experience to be part of this community.
I share a lot about WES on my Facebook page, and as a result of that, my friends back in Chicago, where we moved from, are now going to the Chicago Ethical Society. We had never been. We didn't know about it at the time, but it's been interesting to see people get interested in it just from kind of what we're posting on Facebook.
I love the fact that we can stand up for what we believe in, and especially in our times now, it's so important to have a place where you have people that are like-minded, maybe not 100%, but at least you can talk through the issues that concern you and how to react to those issues.
They're not family, but they are family, and that's what's special, because when you don't live near family, you miss those connections, and so it builds things that you need in your life. Everyone needs people to rely on, and so that's what we found in ethical culture more than anything else.
I think that this is a moment where people are no longer finding quite the same connection in traditional religion, but they're also realizing that they don't want to be completely without a community like that. I hear it over and over again from visitors. I didn't know there was something like this. I didn't think I could have this. I didn't think it would be available to me. I mean, in some ways, I can't imagine where we'll be in 10 years, precisely because I hope that the we keeps expanding, so that it will be something totally different. So that in 10 years, I'm looking at a community of people that have formed new ideas and new visions together that I couldn't begin to imagine now, because we don't have all the right people yet. They're still looking for us. They haven't found us, but when they do, we'll be, I hope, open enough to welcome them in and be changed by them.